Shrinking tax refunds cast a shadow on Trump's signature law. But fewer people are getting refunds this year, and that's causing angst for Republicans who want to convince voters that the 2017 tax overhaul really did give them a tax cut. If Middle America Republicans are on the defensive, the once little taxes are down, so refunds should be down, Nukin told the House Ways and Means Committee on Thursday. Nukin added that Democrats see an opportunity to use the drop in refunds to hammer Republicans in the 2020 campaign for seeming to favor the wealthy and denying middle and lower income people the refunds they count on. Polling shows the GOP has work to do. The tax law, Representative Judy Chu, a California Democrat, said her office has received many calls from taxpayers complaining they didn't get as big a refund as expected. Chu has introduced, they depend on their refunds to pay bills, so they are quite upset, Chu said. Senator Bob King, early in the filing season, Nukin argued that smaller refunds meant people had more money in their pockets throughout the year. More recently, Representative Dave Schweikert, an Arizona Republican on the House Ways and Means Committee, pointed to IRS data that shows the average refund is up compared to last year, a point that he said hadn't been noticed. Even on the issue of tax refunds, it's become politicized, he said. The GOP has some facts on its side. The number of refunds, yet the changes in withholding, which resulted in slightly higher paychecks, and the minimizing of popular write-offs, such as capping the deduction for state and local taxes at $10,000, made the changes more subtle than the arrival of a refund check. Extra money may not seem like that much if it's doled out in small amounts. It's hard to diet if there is candy on the counter every Friday, said Richard Levine, a tax lawyer at Withers Bergman. Americans seem to like to keep the candy out of sight until the spring refund season. The argument that a poll done by Bankrate in 2015 shows that most Americans want a refund, ranging from 57% for those earning less than $30,000 to 63% for those earning between $50,000 and $74,999. And 53%, irrational as it might be, big refunds seem to be something that many households are comfortable with, Nancy Van Houten, an economist at Oxford Economics, said. People view it as, ultimately, it's not yet known exactly how refunds will compare to last year. The IRS has Republicans have consistently lost the messaging battle on the tax overhaul. An internal conservatives complain that the confusion about refunds has overshadowed the argument that the tax law has helped keep unemployment low and sustain the economic expansion. It's unfortunate that the economic growth message lost out to discussion about how many dollars are in my paycheck, said Adam Michel, a senior policy analyst at the Heritage Foundation. Tax refunds also have economic sway, according to from the J.P. Morgan Chase Institute. Those checks are off. The tax cut was never quite as popular as Republicans hoped, and I don't think the refund numbers help, Van Houten said. This will stick with
raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.